Hello YouTube and welcome back to our channel. I'm Lee, and instead of being behind the camera today, we got Lonnie in front of the camera today.
Hi.
We're going to do a joint venture today. We're going to make some salmon patties and some
Couscous.
Continue watching the video and see how to learn how to make this dish. Then we will definitely show you while we're having fun together. Also, don't forget to subscribe, like, share, tell everybody about it, and we'll see you. Thank you.
Bye. Okay, so we're going to start off by boiling our water for our couscous. I'm going to turn on the flame. And I have here about a cup and a quarter of water. And then we have a cup of couscous, and the cooking ratio is 1:1. So I put a quarter in there because we're going to make it come to a boil, and you'll lose some of that water eventually when it's boiling. I also have one Knorr Bouillion Cube, so I'm going to go ahead and put that in there too. Or you can use chicken broth and just skip that whole thing. And then on this side, I have about a tablespoon of coconut oil. And I'm going to go ahead and we're going to start sauteing the eggplant, the onions, and the mushrooms for the couscous salad. I used, again, coconut oil. You can use any type of oil that you prefer. So we'll go ahead and make that melt down. And coconut oil just gives it an additional nuttier flavor. So that's pretty much melted. I'm going to start with the onions first because the eggplant actually does absorb a lot of the oil. So I want to go ahead and, just like the mushrooms, I'm going to go ahead and just start with the onions first. Put that in there. And we're using red onion today only because that's what we had, but you can use any type of onion, Vidalia onions, yellow onions, sweet onions, whichever your preference is. You can see the onions are getting a little bit more translucent. So I'm going to go ahead and put in the eggplant, and this is one medium-sized eggplant, and this is the round American eggplant. I usually like the Japanese eggplant, but they didn't have that at the grocery store today, so I'm going to go ahead and just use this. And it seems like a lot, but it's going to cook down substantially, so go ahead and put that in and mix that around. This is a really great dish for those of you who are vegetarian or vegan even. I used to eat this a lot. About 3 years ago, I went vegan, and I was vegan for about 1.5 years. So couscous and all this was like a staple food for me. We'll go ahead and let that cook down a little bit. Now you can see the water is boiling for our couscous. So I'm going to go ahead and drop in our 1 cup of couscous. Put that in there and let it absorb. And it's going to come to a boil a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and cover it back up. And then we're going to turn off the heat. And the residual heat from the pot is going to continue to cook the couscous. And then when it's done, we're going to take a fork and fluff it up. This 1 cup here is going to yield about 4 cups cooked, so that's a lot. All right, so we got our eggplant cooking. I'm going to go ahead and season it with some sea salt and then some ground black pepper. I'm going to go ahead and add the mushrooms at this time, and this is just regular button mushrooms that I just sliced in half. All right, so we're just going to let that cook down some more. It will be about half of that size that's in the pan right now, and then from there we'll be able to assemble our salad. All right, so this is already nicely cooked down, so this is ready. I've turned off the heat. So now we're going to go ahead and take a look at our couscous. It's been resting for 10 minutes. And so it absorbed all the water already. So all you need to do is take a fork and you just fluff it. Just like that. And we got ourselves some couscous.
Fluffing it.
All right. Now while I'm fluffing this up, on this bowl right here, I have some roasted red peppers and green peppers, and we roasted that ourselves here at home. And all we did was put the bell peppers in a 500-degree oven, and we put it in there until the skins on the peppers were charred, and then we peeled it off, put it in a mason jar with some olive oil and some roasted garlic, and then it's good to store for about 2 weeks. Like that. So we have that readily available. We also have some roasted garlic over here, and this we put in the oven at 375. A whole clove of garlic, we cut it in half and then drizzled some olive oil and some coarse sea salt in there, wrapped it in some aluminum foil, put it in the oven for about 25 to 35 minutes until you start smelling the aromas of the garlic, and you know it's ready. Then we took it off the skins, put that in a container. We leave that in the refrigerator so we have that readily available as well. Then we have some cilantro right here that I just chopped up. And then here, I prefer black beans, but we didn't have any black beans, so this is small red kidney beans. So we're gonna put that all together. So my couscous is nice and fluffed up right here. As you can see, the 1 cup does yield a lot. So I'm going to go ahead and take my onion, eggplant, and mushroom mixture, put that all in here. Okay. And then get our couscous and put that all in here as well. Okay. And then we have our kidney beans. Now this is canned, and I drained and rinsed it off just so that we can get rid of all that extra sodium that's in the can. But if you could, it would be best to just take dry beans and do it yourself. Okay? So just mix everything all up. And this is going to be a good side dish that you can have with any meal. Perfect for those nights when you want a light meal. So that's the salad. So very simple, very easy to make, easy to eat, nice and colorful, and it'll go perfect with our salmon patties. And there you go.
Okay, today we're going to go ahead and we're going to start making your salmon patties. I got about 1.5 cans of pink salmon, bumblebee. You can get it from your local grocery store, or you can choose whatever kind of salmon you like, or you can even use fresh salmon if you want to grill it and then go ahead and break it up. I've deboned it. Some come with bones, some don't. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and start by adding my cut up. It's about 1/2 cup of purple onion. Okay. Then I got about 2 tablespoons of chives. Okay. I got the lemon juice of 1 small lemon. I have 2 large eggs. And then I'm going to go ahead and add in, this is about 1.5 cups of fresh crackers. I went ahead and took my rolling pin, I put them in a bag and I rolled them, crushed them up. Saltines, or you can get Ritz, I use Ritz. I went ahead and added my house seasoning in the mixture along with some parsley. And I'm going to go ahead and add that to the mix here. That's going to give it a nice, it's going to take your salmon patties and bind it together so that they don't fall apart, and make sure and that you'll get more out of your salmon patties than just what's in there. I'm also going to go ahead and add some Old Bay with lemon and herb seasoning. So I'm going to go ahead and take my spatula and I'm going to mix that up here. So as you can see there, it's coming all together. You want to make sure the eggs is mixed all together, all the breadcrumbs. There you go. You want the consistency about right there. I like mine a little thick. As you can see the ingredients really well. Very colorful. It's pretty well mixed. Go ahead and put that aside. So you want to make about 3-inch patties. You don't want them too big, depending on how many you're making for your family. So I'm going to go ahead and form these with my hand here. There you go. Like I said, that's about 3 inches right there. You don't want it too thick, you don't want it too thin, because you don't want it to cook too fast and you don't want it to burn. You want to make sure it's well put together. That's what the breadcrumbs are for. And we'll go ahead and lay this down on the plate here. So I'm going to make about 3 or 4 at a time. And it's already, even before it's cooked, it's already smelling good. I don't know if any of you have ever had salmon patties, but it's something that my mother used to make when we were children, and I still love them to this day. So I'm going to go ahead and form these patties here. Like I said, about 3 or 4. So I'm going to continue prepping these, and then we're going to go ahead and move them over to our pan here in just a moment, and we'll be back. So now that we got our oil nice and hot on our stove, I'll put it's about a little less than 1 inch of oil in here. Regular vegetable oil. You can use whatever oil you like. You can use olive oil, you can use canola oil. So I have about 4 salmon patties here. We'll go ahead and just take them off here. You want to be careful. Lay them in there very carefully. You don't want yourself to get burned by any grease. So I'm going to just lay them here in a circular form. And I actually have 5, I'm sorry. I wanted to put this in a bowl, I didn't want it to stick with the other ones. So there we go, we got 5 patties cooking there. So you want them to cook here. You want to cook on one side and you want to go ahead and flip them. You want to get them a nice brown. You don't want them to burn. You don't want the oil to be too hot because you don't want your oil to burn it at all either. So I have it like on a nice medium high. I'm going to let it slow cook here a little bit. Once it's done, we're going to go ahead and just get our plate, get our paper towel laid out so that we can lay it down and get it ready. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and flip these over. They should be nice and brown on one side. Like I said, you want to be careful again because you don't want to burn yourself. Get that nice and golden brown. That's exactly how you want it to look. It's already cooked. You know, most of your ingredients are already cooked, so really you're just kind of frying it because you want to blend it all together, get those nice flavors of the salmon mixed in with your chives and your onions. So we're going to go ahead and let that sit, and like I said, we'll be back once again and we'll show you our finished product.